Good evening, welcome back. Welcome back to ABN AMRO live broadcast class tonight. And I am Amir Callahan. Welcome back. Exciting week for the past week. And then we are going to have an even better one. The reason why we are going to have the Federal Reserve is going to cut the interest rate. They might cut the interest rate. So the past week we have all the data for the employment, and it's looking pretty good, I have to say. Kind of mixed, but anyway, the coming week is going to be the inflation. It's going to be the inflation. So anyway, if everything just go according to plans, that we might gonna have a 25 basis point cut. So that's why this week the economic data are extremely important. So anyway, and I have prepared a lot of things. A lot of things has happened, especially with Donald Trump is going to take office in January. So a lot of things are changing. So, but you know what? It is good for crypto. That's for sure. So anyway, let's get into that. Let's look into content today, just as usual. We are going to have our financial news. What are the news going to happen that is going to affect the market? And then we have the market analysis on both stocks and crypto. At the end, we're going to have the IEO for AIXL. I believe this Friday, right? So anyway, yes. So to know more about this crypto, and I already told you about, and I'm gonna go over our prediction again. And I am telling you right now, with the trend going on, we are being very conservative right now with our prediction for the returns. But anyway, I'm gonna go over it again. So for you to know a little more about AIXL, I'm gonna go over some of the white paper. The white paper basically tells you what is this cryptos all about anyway. So then we have a better understanding of that. All right. So anyway, let's get into financial news. First thing, got to talk about Donald Trump, right? So anyway, Donald Trump is making it clear he doesn't intend to ease up on the national technology giants once he is back in the office again. So anyway, this is what happened. The latest sign came Wednesday when he said he would nominate Gail Slater to aid DJ Vance, our next vice president, to lead the Justice Department Antitrust Division. So every time when I'm talking about antitrust, everywhere else in the world is doing antitrust as well, especially when it comes to the tech sector. They are going after the tech giants. We're talking about Apple. We're talking about Microsoft. We're talking about Nvidia. We're talking about Amazon. We are all this, right? And then Donald Trump is, of course, Meta as well. So anyway, Donald Trump he was doing it. He was going after them, but all of a sudden we had President Biden came on and just kind of just let it go, right? So anyway, well, he didn't really let it go because he planted a lot of things. Donald Trump planted a lot of things from his last term, that a lot of the lawsuits just roll into Biden's term anyway. So anyway, I'm gonna go over that. But he is going to go after. He's trying to just go after the big tech with the antitrust. Anyway, so he was saying that the big tech has run wild for years. Trump has said it in a statement, announcing the appointment on his Truth Social platform. So stifling competition in our most innovative sector, and as we all know, using the market power to crack down on the rights of so many Americans, as well as those of the little tech. So anyway, he was proud to fight this abuse in his first term, and the Department of Justice antitrust team will continue that work under Gail's leadership. So he's counting on it. He's going to start going after the tech, just like the European Union. But anyway, So this is extremely important. So they are going to go after who? Just like what I said, Google, especially Google, because basically Google has they already said that they have to break up the search engine. They have to group Chrome and all that. They have to break it all up because it is basically they have 90% of the market when it comes to internet search. So anyway. There are not a lot of things to Google's paying off all this other big tech company, especially with Apple, and that's why the Apple is also under investigation as antitrust and investigation as well. Meta, Donald Trump didn't like Meta. He has something against Meta for some reason. But anyway, yeah, he's going to go after that too because back in the days there was the acquisition with Instagram and also WhatsApp. Now both owned by Meta, so he was kind of like that was not that is the case as well. So anyway, yes, he is going to crack down on that. That's what he said. But for Friday, just like for last week, the tech sector didn't really react to it. It was going pretty good as well. So we'll definitely see about that when he takes office. So anyway, that's antitrust. The second one, we got the past week, we have all these employment numbers, and we have the JOLTS, we have the ADP, and then afterwards, and that's what we talked about, and then afterwards we have the non-farm payroll, and also the initial jobless claim. So let's look into the number and see if it works out, right? Because a lot of times, I am not liking it, is that the government numbers did a lot of revise. And the revise is not, a lot of times is not for the better. And they are way off a lot of times. Anyway, so let's look into the employment numbers. First, we have the numbers of American filing for the first time unemployment benefit rose by more than anticipated last week, pointing to a cooling labor market. So let us look at the initial jobless claim. It climbs, so it's like 224,000 in the week ended November 30th. It's more increase from the revised total, 215,000 in the prior week. However, the forecast for last week's number is 215,000, so it is more than expected. However, though, the one continues after the initial jobless claim, and they continue taking the claims, taking unemployment benefits fell 25,000. Now it's a seasonal adjustment of 1.871 million people are still having the unemployment benefits. Yeah, it fell 25,000, and yes and no, there are jobs out there. And I kept seeing that when they say when Donald Trump is going to take office, there's going to be less job, and I really don't. It just doesn't make sense to me, right? Because if he's going to do the mass deportation, and we are going to have a lot of jobs open up, they were being occupied by the illegal migrants, right? So anyway. Not to get into that because I'm not going to get into that because it's something that's going to happen. It might not even happen. That is next year. We only care about right now, and then the rate cuts on the 18th, and see if they are going to have it or if they're going to cancel it. So anyway, besides the initial jobless claim, we have non-farm payroll as well. So now let's look into non-farm payroll. We have 227,000 during the month. So it climbs from the revised higher 36,000 growth since in October as the labor market reels from the hurricane and also the strike from Boeing and all the other ones too. The economist looking at is 202, so it's way above the expectation. So it is a good thing, right? So we are seeing an increase in initial jobless claim, but we are also seeing an increase in the non-farm payroll as well. So it is quite interesting. But as I told you already, by seeing this trend, January, there's going to be a big shuffle on that one. I mean, the initial jobless claim is going to increase, and then we have the non-farm payroll is going to go down. But anyway, that will be January. Let's take care of this month first. We also have unemployment rate. It went up to 4.2% unemployment rate. Even though it's matching the expectation, it's higher than last month, the 4.1. Our hourly wage, average hourly earnings, however, came in at 0.4% increase. It was unchanged. It was unchanged from last month, but it was expected to be 0.3, so it's doing much better. So we got initial jobless claim goes up. We have employment non-farm payroll goes up too. So it kind of contradicts each other, but not really contradict each other. But the thing is, it's just we have good news and bad news. And then we have unemployment that goes up, but we have the wages also goes up too. So anyway, it's very mixed feeling, I have to say. But I do think this is good enough if our price stability matches this. I think we are going to have a rate cut. That's for sure. But anyway, let's take a look at the coming week. We have a lot of data we will take a look at. So now, besides Donald Trump, we have Elon Musk in the news again. So Elon Musk and also the former presidential candidate, we have Vivek Ramaswamy met on Thursday with Republican lawmaker whose support they will need to win the swiping spending cuts President-elect Donald Trump has asked them to find. So basically what it is, very simple. They want Donald Trump wants this two-person to cut their government spending. It is, the fiscal year is 6.8 trillion. And Elon Musk was saying that his target is to cut 2 trillion. So they are going to almost just maybe close to maybe one third of the spending. Do you think he can do it? Well, first of all, a lot of people are skeptic about this. First of all, no one knows that he's saying is for the fiscal year or it is for the Donald Trump the whole 4 terms. So it could be 2 trillion for the fiscal year, or it could be $500 billion for the one fiscal year. So we don't know anything about that yet. So the two chair of the Deutsche department has recorded have called for firing thousands of federal workers, slashing regulations, and eliminating programs who just the authorization has expired, such as veteran healthcare. So that doesn't sound good at all. So anyway, that could be easily said than done, because any changes to the veteran benefits or other popular programs that serve millions of Americans would likely to encounter just blow back. And efforts to thin the workforce could disrupt everything from law enforcement to air traffic control. So anyway, so after being peppered with questions about whether he would support cuts to entitlement programs like Medicaid, Medicare, and cuts to defense, then Elon Musk finally replied, I think we just need to make sure we spend the public money well. So that is a very simple answer. But yes, he's going to make some cuts. And then he start talking about the electric vehicle tax credit, which Donald Trump has already said it's going to cut it. They're not going to have that, the $7,500 the tax credit. He's not going to have it. And then Elon Musk was saying that he thinks we should just get rid of all the credits. Period. So that is going to help a lot of the spending for the government. It's going to cut a lot of spending. And then of course we have Ramaswamy also met separately with the group of Senate Republicans, including we have Tom Tillis, who said that he believes that they were 10 tens of billions of dollars in spending that could be quickly just taken care of. So anyway, I mean, next year is going to be a lot of changes. I just saw on the news. I mean, it's just news left and right. I just saw Donald Trump was just going over that, they're trying to cancel the right to be citizen even if you're born in the United States. It is just crazy, a lot of information to process, but we'll see. Never know. We never know, right? So anyway, that is Elon Musk, the Deutsche Department. The next one here is great because Nvidia is getting more business. So Italian startup and also iGenius and Nvidia on Thursday said they are planning to bring online one of the world's biggest deployment of Nvidia's newest server by the middle of next year in a data center in southern Italy. So iGenius, this is like Italian startup company. They are going to be building a data center over in Italy that will house 80, listen to this, 80 of the NVIDIA's most powerful server called GB200 NVL72. And why is it called NVL72? Is because each of this server will contain the Blackwell chips in there, 72 of them of the Blackwell chips inside this. So they have 80 servers and each server is going to have 72 Blackwell chips in there. Do you know how this is like, how much it is going to be? Now, I'm doing my research because they have been talking about Blackwell because they were having problems with overheating. But of course, we have supermicro computer that is going to solve that problem with the liquid cooling system. So anyway, one Blackwell chips that is going to cost, lowballing it, it's like maybe 30K, 30,000. All right. So now, basically, if we are talking about 80 servers, each server is going to be $2 million. 80 servers. So, like, if we're looking about lowballing, it's between $2 to $3 million, and 80 of them is going to be like over 200. It's going to be over $200 million. So yes. This Italian company, it's basically made an order for over $200 million with Nvidia. So that sounds great, I have to say. So the startup didn't give a price tag for the project anyway, but that's by calculation. And then the chief executive told them the news that iGenius, one of the few AI startups in the euro value at more than $1 billion, and that is the reason why they are worth $1 billion, and it had also raised 250 million euros so far this year, and is to take on additional capital for the AI computing system, which will be called Colosseum. So iGenius differ from the rivals such as OpenAI in that it develops open sources AI software models for chatbots. It sells to specifically banks, healthcare firms, and other industry that with strict data security rules who runs the model on their own infrastructure. So the Colosseum they were talking about, iGenius has also tapped into the NVIDIA full array of software tools, including one introducing this year called NVIDIA NIM, that is the functions almost like an app store for AI models. So that means the AI models iGenius hope to develop with Colosseum, some of which could be as large as 1 trillion parameters according to the one measure of AI sophistications, and can easily be distributed to a business that uses NVIDIA chips. So wow, that is insane. And we got startup companies that is already in billions already, and that is overseas. And see, the market is just getting bigger and bigger, and more companies are using AI. So that's NVIDIA. Well, since we are talking about Nvidia, might as well talk about that. Might as well we talk about the number two, well, the 1, 2, 3 company, and then we have Microsoft. Well, and the reason why I'm talking about Microsoft, and I was bashing it. I was kind of bashing Microsoft on the PC market because of the AI PCs, AI laptops. Not a lot of people are buying it. Especially we have Dell as well, HP, Dell. They have the same thing. All three of this company. But however, Bernstein and Bernstein analysts, they're not thinking about that way because just that PCs and the laptop, that sector is a small portion of Microsoft. All right. So anyway, so Bernstein analyst is saying that investors should own Microsoft shares because they have outperformed ratings for it, and also they just put a new price target on Microsoft. We are looking at $511 per shares. That was noted on Thursday. But you know what? Friday, how much is Microsoft? Is $443. So we have a long way to go. So anyway, if we want to traditionally, definitely nowadays, like we wouldn't think about putting money in stocks anymore because the crypto market is exploding. But you must sometimes, like, you want some blue chip stocks, you want something safe, something that you can just have it for the next 20 years. Microsoft, definitely. And it is also on, we will talk about that too, the Bank of America number at the US 1 list as well. So yes, Nvidia wasn't on it, but Microsoft is. We have Amazon is on there. Apple is on there too. So those are the ones that basically you can just kind of keep it forever. So anyway, to point to the Microsoft growing AI revenue projected to surpass a 10 billion run rate by the end of next quarter. As a key reason for the optimism. So Microsoft AI business compress two main components. We have the co-pilots, but we have the SAS space co-pilots, excluding the GitHub co-pilots, and also we have the Azure, the cloud AI. So that is the two main components. That's the reason why the Bernstein kind of like basically up their price target. So Bernstein explained that the latter generates inferencing driven revenue for the enterprise, including OpenAI, with the mix that ensures stability and also healthy margin. So Microsoft AI revenue is not exposed to the concern relating to AI training spending, but it's instead predominantly inferencing, which is more stable and better margins. So that's Bernstein, that's what they said. So anyway, the analysts also highlighted the rapid growth in the Microsoft 365 co-pilots, which has reached $1 to $1.5 billion annual revenue runs late within a year of launches. So anyway, so basically this is it. I'm just really liking the numbers. It's still, the market cap is $3.3 trillion, still the third company. Was the number one company in market value in the world. Now is rated third, but they are close. We're looking at 3.65, 3.55. We're looking at 3.3, so that's 1, 2, 3. So anyway, it can change anytime. So anyway, but with the target 511 per shares, it could just throw them right back to number one. But they do have to think about their AI PCs and the AI laptops and the tablets as well, and see what are they going to do with that. So speaking of AI, well, this is totally different because we realized that on Thursday, finally, the first time ever, Bitcoin just captured above $100,000. So that was Thursday, and ever since it's been just fluctuating in between 100, over 100, under 100. It's just hanging around the 100 numbers anyway. So this is definitely milestone for the digital assets for as investors just betting on like friendly U.S. administrator to cement the place of cryptocurrencies in the financial market. And Yes, right now we are looking at 900. We're looking at something 996. It's quite close to 100. But it's like 90. It's 99,000. It's 99,000 right now. So it's like it's very close to 100,000, right? So anyway, it gets to a point too close. It went up to 103,000, over 103,000, and a lot of people suspect it's because that Donald Trump's nomination for the SEC chair, Paul Atkins, and everybody was talking about it because Paul Atkins is definitely pro crypto, and then we have Donald Trump's pro crypto, and then we have JD Vance's pro crypto as well. So anyway, just on Friday, the value went up 5%. The value went up 5%. However, it just kind of it's going like a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster, but it is not the volatility is not that bad, all right, because it's just kind of hanging on the 100,000 mark. So anyway, the total value of the crypto market has almost doubled over the years so far to hit the record over 3.8 trillion. So according to the data provided by CoinGecko, by comparisons to Apple, basically, Apple is worth 3.7 trillion, 3.65, okay? So anyway, so Apple is as big as the whole crypto market. So, but Bitcoin just this year already doubled its value this year. And then we saw that big swings. We saw this year it went under 50,000, and now it just came back. Now it's over 100. It's close to 100, and then it went over 100. So anyway, so it's double in value, and it's up more than 50% ever since the Donald Trump's election, and also the Republicans just kind of took on the most of the majority. So yeah, so well. It is going to be quite interesting, and there are more I'm going to talk about because there is going to be one more opportunity that is on Tuesday that something is going to happen, and I'm going to talk about the crypto, do the analysis on the crypto market, and we're going to talk about that too, all right? So anyway, just hang it there. Earlier, I was just talking about is just the Bank of America and the US one list. So basically, the US one list is the top pick on stocks. And Bank of America just added Walmart, and Walmart's been doing great. All right. I mean, it's just they are eliminating all the competitors out there. And they're doing great, especially on their e-commerce. They are doing phenomenal. However, because when you add one on the list, you have to take out another. And then Bank of America took away Costco. Costco was removed, although the firms maintain its buying ratings on the stock, so it's still good, and nothing potential limits to the further multiply expansion. So anyway, so BofA said Walmart is benefiting from the broad-based share gains across the product categories and income cohorts, particularly among higher income consumers. So its omni-channel strategy, including expanding online offers, remodels, and also the Walmart Plus membership too. There was a growth, and the reason why there's a growth because they chopped the price on that one. They chopped the price on that one. I believe that the Walmart Plus it was $98, and then I think for the past month they were doing like the half price on that one. So that is a gain. That is a gain. That's for sure. Additionally, Walmart is said to have strive in reducing the U.S. e-commerce the e-commerce loss, and by quite a bit too, with the net delivery cost per order down 40% year over year. So that is amazing. And while Walmart currently valuations of 33 to 34 times, earnings exceeded historical average, and then we are looking for more as well. So Bank of America analysts believe that its oncoming transformation justified this premium. So then that's why they put them on the list. One more thing with its price to earning ratios, all-time high, 50 times. So this is just for sure. That is for sure is going to be on the US one list. So that is Walmart. And I will talk about grocery chains later too. There was another grocery chains I have been paying my attention to, and you'll find out who. The next one I want to go over. A lot of people ask me, why do we want to talk about this bank? TD Bank, Toronto Dominion Bank. It is a Canadian-based bank. And I like this bank. The reason why the analysts are great. I mean, a lot of times maybe they are not really based in the United States. So when they try to analyze all the stocks, all the market and everything, and they totally have like a different point of view. And I have totally respect with the analysts over there. So anyway, the report, but the TD Bank reported a fourth quarter earnings that fall short of the analyst expectation, and I don't think so. But anyway, sending the shares down 3.5% pre-market, trading Thursday. And the Canadian bank giant. Why is it the Canadian bank giant? Because it is the biggest total assets. It's the biggest bank with the biggest total assets and auto market caps in Canada. And also, it is the top 10 North American financial services. So anyway, that's how significant TD Bank is, even though that sometimes we don't really pay attention to that. Anyway, we have the EPS for it, $1.72 for the quarter ended October 31st. But that's in Canadian dollars. However, that is estimate is $1.83, kind of fall short on that one. However, though, this is quite interesting. We will see that the revenue is much higher than expectation. We are looking at $15.5 billion, surpassing the expectation for $12.7 billion and rising 33% year over year. So this is impressive. But the thing is, as you say, is that if the revenue goes up, the earnings should goes up, right? But this is not the case. The revenue goes up, but the earning is not meeting the expectation, and they will say why. The adjusted net income fell 8% as well year over year to $3.21 billion, and then impacted by the higher provisions for credit loss and also the increase in expenses, and that's the reason. And I'm glad they identified it mostly because of the credit losses. And also the increase in expenses, mostly in the clients. So they're spending more to gain clients, right? So anyway, but there are segments that is growing. For example, that will be the personal and commercial banking segments, traditional banking segments, that is the net income rise 9%, very impressive, to $1.82. It's like $1.82 billion in Canadian dollars. That is very strong, I have to say. So, but anyway, despite of the challenge of the quarter, they are pleased with the bank's underlying fundamentals, which were reflected in their revenue growth, said the president and CEO of the TD Bank Group. So anyway, however, they are losing money though, and down 12%. In the U.S. retail banking segment. So, it's down to $689 million US dollars. Is also because of the high credit loss and also the expenses as well. So they might really have to take a look at that. Anyway, so that is TD Bank. The next one that I'm going to go over is Kroger. The reason why I have always focused on Kroger, because first of all, they are trying to compete with the giants. We're talking about that competing with Walmart. We're talking about Amazon's, because they are not just competing in the grocery chains. Among the grocery chains, they are competing with Walmart is selling the same thing too. Everyday low prices, and also they do e-commerce as well. And Amazon's definitely. It's all about not just physical store. It's about they have to compete both physical and online environment, right? So, and these two companies huge. And look at Amazon. This company is worth like over $2 trillion, right? So it is hard to fight them. But you know what? Kroger is fighting them. They are doing good. And the reason why I have been focusing on them because they were trying to merge with Albertsons, but I believe that the DOJ was like someone had to block it because of antitrust. But how can it be antitrust when they are going against the giants like Emerson's and Walmart, right? So that doesn't make sense to me. But in the traditional sector as grocery stores, if Kroger and Albertsons going to merge together, it's going to be quite powerful, but still not as powerful as Walmart and Emerson's anyway. So anyway, let's look into the numbers. Kroger topped third quarter same-store sales expectation on Thursday, benefiting from the surge in the customer shopping for its low price and freshly sourced groceries at its store and online. So anyway, we have been talking about that. We have been talking about that one with Walmart and Emerson's. And well, how did they compete with these two giants? It launches a 12-day deal event from December 4th, where the customers can avail a new coupon every day on its website and also its mobile app. So Walmart, yes, I mentioned earlier, Thanksgiving also pushed out several deals. One of them is the half price for the Walmart Plus on the way, but it's over now. It's till the December 2nd, but they make quite a bit of money on that. Anyway, Kroger's identical sales exclude fuel rose 2.3% in the third quarter, comparing to the analyst average of 1.77% rise. That is according to the London Stock Exchange Group. So excluding items, it adjusted earnings. We're looking at 98 cents EPS, which is in line with the expectation, but the shares slipped nearly at 1% as the supermarket chain narrowed its annual forecast, saying that 2024 sales will be about $3 billion lower due to the sales of its specialties pharmacy units, and which we have been seeing, especially the specialty pharmacy units. They are a lot of this. We're talking about not just Kroger. We're talking about Walgreens. We're talking about CVS. They are losing money in there because the cost is too high, and that there's a very narrow profit margin if they just break even on that. So that's the reason why that there's a specialty that they can less money. That's the reason why that Walgreens and CVS, they are trying to make their own generic brands. So then that's where they make the money when it comes to pharmacy. But anyway, pharmacy has been a big problem lately because of the high price of the medication. So anyway, Kroger expected fiscal 2024 identical sales, exclude fuel, to grow between 1.2% and 1.5%, comparing to the prior forecast of 0.75 to 1.75. It is much more accurate. So anyway, so that is Kroger, and I'm still looking for the deals Kroger and Albertson. If it's gonna work out, that's gonna be great. The next one I'm going to go over, yes, is Target. Well, Target is in trouble, finally. Well, anyway, Target has failed to persuade a judge in Florida to dismiss a lawsuit that is accusing the retailer of deceiving the shareholders of its sales of LGBTQ plus AII. I have no idea. That's really long. The LGBTQ themes merchandise for Pride Month sparks backlash and customers boycott. So the U.S. District Court that in Fort Myers rules that plaintiff had present enough information for now to pursue the claims that Target mislead investors about the efforts to guard against social and political risks. So the lawsuit from the investors, Brian Craig, claims that Target, well, he is an investor, so the Brian Craig claims that the Target's board focused only on activist groups called DEI, the diversity, equity, and inclusion measures, and overlooked the potential negative response to the Pride campaign in May 2023. So American First Legal, the conservative group that filed the lawsuit last year, in a statement on Wednesday, called it the court ruling a warning to publicly trading corporations, boards, and management. The group said that the risk of DEI programs and environment, social, and governance (ESG) initiative cannot be whitewashed with the boilerplate language or ignored. So anyway, the American first filed the lawsuits in Florida federal court in August 2023. The nonprofit group is headed by Stephen Miller and is also a close advisor of Donald Trump. So this is what happened. So anyway, Target said that it was they urged the judge to dismiss the case, which it didn't, because they were arguing there was just no real evidence that is backing the allegations that it had warned the investors about the potential DEI backlash, and the complaint was based merely on Brian Craig's disagreement with the management with the company's direction. So, but they have to agree. They have took down they have an aisle for pride. They have an aisle for pride and things like that. And then there were fights. People were they were stepping on the merchandise and things like that. So they eventually they took it down. Or they kind of like put it in the back of the store. But anyway, that was that. So anyway, you see a lot of companies, they're so focused on DEI right now. They just and the identity politics, and they kind of just forget about what is going on. So the company is supposed to make money, not supposed to make a statement out there. So Target, not the only companies doing that right now, when you know which other companies, right? So anyway, that's Target. So now let's go over the market analysis. We have a lot of things going on. Let's check out the stock market first. We have the US stock market close mixed, and it is getting normal. The reason why every time when I see normal is when the Dow is down, NASDAQ and S&P is up. And that is normal. Usually, that is now the stock market is back on its own pace right now. So anyway, Friday, NASDAQ and S&P both of them hits the new heights. And then afterwards, we have the Dow though fall 123 points from the previous trading days, dropped to 0.28%. S&P up 15 points or 0.25%, and then NASDAQ also up 159 points, gaining 0.8%. Both of this S&P and also that the NASDAQ both record highs for that. So anyway, last week, the past week, I have to say that the international market was extremely volatile. That with the French government did not pass the no confidence vote, and also the oil production countries, allies of OPEC Plus, reached an agreement to postpone the resumption of the oil production. Anyway, the stocks for the week, the U.S. stocks for the week, we have Dow fall 0.6%, NASDAQ up 3.3%, and the S&P up almost 1%. So that sounds great. So there are many highlights though for the upcoming week. We have the CPI in November. So we just talked about, we have the employment for the past week, and then we are looking at the coming week. We are going to look into the pricing, the pricing index, and see the price stability. Is it inflationary, or is it just growing better without the inflation, right? So that's what we're going to look into. That's what we're going to go look into, because all this data is going to affect the Federal Reserve. How are they going to cut the interest rates? So several economies will announce interest rate decisions as well. We have Europe, the European Unions, Canadians, and also the Swiss Central Bank might cut rates. Australian one, those expect to remain on hold, and I believe there was England. The England Central Bank, I think they probably not going to do it yet, but if they're going to do it, they're going to do it a big one. So anyway, additional to the geopolitical factors remain potential risks cannot ignore, such as the situation over in Syria has escalated, and we have the French, and then we have the South Korean. They have the martial law all of a sudden now, like the president is going to probably resign. So anyway, everything's just a mess the past week. But you know what? We survived because we got Bitcoin, because we have the cryptocurrency is holding on to the market, is holding hopes as well. Yeah, there are a lot of different news when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Yeah, but those are not significant because, like, you know what? Hey, not too significant because we have Bitcoin right here. Not just Bitcoin, we have Ether, we have Solana, we have all this crypto-related stocks that is doing great as well. So anyway, Bitcoin hits an all-time high Thursday as because of the presidential election, probably because like investors took into the account of the promise of Donald Trump's promises that what he's going to do in additional widespread adoption of Bitcoin will completely change the investment risk and return situation. And I just said, right? There is something something is going to be quite significant. That's going to happen on the 10th. The reason why it was said that it was months ago, the shareholders are going to be voting for Microsoft. Yes, we just talked about is Microsoft. Whether Microsoft should publicly assess adding Bitcoins into its balance sheet. So it gives you two stories here. So basically what it is, are they going to include Bitcoin into their balance sheet as part of Microsoft assets? Now, so we can suspect there's two things. One is that if the vote goes through, which the board tried to encourage not to, that means that they are going to start buying Bitcoin as they're part of the assets instead of maybe sometimes carrying cash. Or the second one is that they already have Bitcoin reserve. Then they need to report it. So now this is insane. So if this news comes out, I'm telling you, Bitcoin is going to jump. If they say we have the world's third largest company is holding Bitcoin as well. So then, so we'll keep our fingers crossed. Let's see what's the report's going to be, what's the voting's going to be, and what's the result, right? So anyway, right now the Bitcoin is at 99,000, close to 100,000. Ether is close to 4,000. So it's pretty flat, but Ether is closer to 4,000. That is phenomenal. Remember, it was still a few weeks ago. It was still like $2,300. But anyway, and then we have Solana kind of stable here. We have it's like right around 240,000, 236. Coinbase 343 went up 7%. Mara $26, and then we have the MicroStrategy. So MicroStrategy is close to $400 too. I mean, it came back down from over 400, but anyway, it's still looking great. So that is basically your crypto market, and a lot of people trying to get into. Well, let's put it like this way. As soon as it hits $100,000, it kind of fall right back down. And the reason why is that there's like a lot of people, they have their orders. Once it hits $100,000, and they just gonna take profit on that one. So that was the automatic, and a lot of the corporations, the institutes, the financial institute, they have that because they are just running SOPs, right? So anyway, that's the reason why. But that they would probably need to adjust their orders, because now people don't want other investors to buy cryptocurrency cheap, because they know the trend is up. So that's why it is the time to just buy into crypto. Same, what's going to happen? We buy when it pull back. That's basically it. So that's crypto market. So now let's look into the AIXL, the IEO, and all of you guys know that the listing is going to be on the 13th. So anyway, you got till the 12th to pay for the IEO, to pay for your allotment, and then. So yeah, I mean, basically, just make sure that you guys pay. You just pay before that, because I'm just afraid that if you pass deal, then then the platform may just gonna take away your allotment and kind of distribute to someone else. So that you probably don't want to happen, because that we are looking at the because we have the because like we have to reevaluate the the returns. The reason why, because there's a lot of things going on, and it's getting better and better. The numbers getting better. So, but anyway, we are still looking at the first day. The first day of the IEO listing. We are looking at the first day is going to go up 500%. And then we'll say, like, conservatively, 90 days is going to reach 5,000%. But you know what, but we're looking at basically within 60 days we're going to reach that. So that is our analysis. So anyway, the lockup date is from the 13th to the 20th. So, well, and basically after 20th you can do whatever you want to. But hey, we are looking at just, well, if you're just gonna just lock up date on 20th, that's like a week of its listing. You're looking at maybe it's going to be less than 1,000%. So I think you should just kind of keep it the way it is until it reach like the AIKK, right? Anyway, so just make sure that you pay before the 12, and then is game on. So anyway, let's go over some of them. What is AIXL is all about anyway, and let's talk about its positioning. And let's go over the white paper a little bit, so it tells you a little bit what is AIXL is all about. So anyway, AIXL is located in the cutting edge field of AI and also Web3 technology, aiming to build an open, innovative, and user-centered AI application ecosystem. So by integrating intelligence and decentralization, AIXL is committed to lead the trend of the digital era and providing the ultimate intelligent experience for users around the world. So the platform is not only positioned as a digital medium, but also a symbol of users' rights and interest rates to participate and shares in the AIXL ecosystem. So through AIXL tokens, users are able to trade in a decentralized market, of course, enjoy the personalized experience, and then participate in the automated execution of smart contracts and receive ecological incentives, forming a virtuous cycle of the ecosystem. So anyway, AIXL is positioned to be much more than just a technology platform. It is an open stage for the innovators to showcase their talent. The platform is dedicated to pushing the boundaries of the technology and providing advanced AI applications, big models, and innovative service to users around the world. So through the power of technology, AIXL expected to break traditional boundaries and create a more open and intelligent digital experience for users. So overall, AIXL positioned to provide users with new dimensions of intelligent experience in the perfect fusion of AI and also Web3 technologies, driving the entire digital ecosystem to a higher level. So now, what kind of innovation does AIXL have as an application? And you have smart contracts and everything. So what is it all about anyway? So let's look into AI drivers in the AIXL, and then the criticality of the AI technology. So in AIXL, the criticality of an AI technology is reflected in its core technology and application level, aiming to integrate AI and Web3 technology to provide users with smarter and more efficient service. Here is the following key aspects of the AI technology in AIXL. So they have, of course, we have the deep learning and also the neural network. So what it is the core of the AIXLs. AI technology, including the deep learning and neural networks, which mimic the structure of a human brains, and also use it to process and understand the large-scale data. Two, the natural language process, the NLP, and the speech recognition. So in AIXL ecosystem, NLP and the speech recognition technologies enable users to interact with the system in a more natural way. So three, data analysis and mining. So AI technology plays a key role to AIXL. So process and analyzing user and market data to mine valuable information. Four, multi-public chains, hybrid architectures. AIXL emphasizes a multi-public chains hybrid architectures to ensure the decentralized decentralized nature of the system. So number five, the smart contract enhancement. So the AI XL improves the efficiency and transparency of the ecosystem by automating the execution of the smart contracts. And what is a smart contract? Basically is payments without a medium. All right. So number six, personalized recommendation for the system. AIXL uses AI technology to build a personalized recommendation system to provide customized service and experience to your users. So anyway, AI technology is not just a tool in AIXL, but also an engine of innovation for its ecosystem. By combining the advanced AI technology with the Web3 concepts, AIXL is committed to ushering in a new chapter in the digital era, bringing the users a more open, intelligent digital experience. So that is AIXL, just some of the information that you might want to know. So anyway, so that's all the information we have for tonight. So anyway, I have good news too. Well, almost good news, not quite there yet. So let's see what's gonna happen. And then because over the weekend I told you guys already, I have been negotiating with other companies about deals, and then I think it's closing soon. But anyway, we'll let you know more about that a little later. All right. So anyway, thank you so much for your support, and you guys have a great night. I will talk to you guys soon. Good night.